Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you're well. Right, we're back in Utopia, and as you can see, I have let people into my zoo, which is very exciting. Be interesting to see how they interact and observe, and whether they go to all the places that I want them to go to. At the moment, we haven't got people down here in our little underwater viewing area. Let's have a look. Have we got anyone up here yet? Not yet, no. But yeah, there you go. People are wandering. People are starting to get there. It's a bit overcrowded, so I have just lowered the numbers actually, because back here by our hippos, it is very crowded in here. Our restaurant is working. You don't have to have pathways underneath, but what you do have to do is link the seats to the restaurant. So I'd forgotten to do that, but that is now working. So that's really cool that people are actually coming down and using our restaurant. So very happy with that, but there is just a few too many, so I've just limited it to 1,000 people. So I assume these numbers will start to drop down soon. But it's great actually having people in here. Really brings the zoo to life, doesn't it? So yeah, very happy with that. So let's move back over here to our crocodile slash alligator slash gharial habitat. So what do we need to do in here? I wanted to get the enrichment items down. Here we go. We've still got them highlighted here. So let's get a mud bath down. I feel like I want a mud bath over this end. So I might do a mud bath there, and then I'll get them some nice bedding down around the edge here somewhere. Kind of create an area here where they come along to rest and relax. Something like that. I think that's nice. And I'll do a little bit of terrain here. Just pull this up. Try and blend this in. So I guess the very last thing I'll do will be all the foliage, which we'll probably start in this episode. Excellent. And then I'll paint this because it all looks a bit too green at the moment, doesn't it? Let's just increase this a bit. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? It's a bit more realistic. You're not going to get a lot of green around, I don't think, really, with this sort of animal. So let's just hide a bit of green, just subtly. Don't need to completely get rid of it. Okay, let's get back to our enrichment. So what else have we got? There is another mud bath potential. I could do a mud bath on this side as well, couldn't I? Let's do that. Let's do a mud bath there as well, just to encourage them over there. I do want just the bedding there though, I think. So I think that works. So what else have we got? There are rubbing pads. We've got a feeding station. Oh no, a prey scented sack. So the feeding is only no, that's a feeder, isn't it? So we'll get a feeder in over here. Try and give the people something to watch over here. Let's get one of them kind of in the middle. Where else could we get a little feeding thing? Probably not around the top there. Quite like the idea of maybe one of these scented things in there to encourage them into that bit. Oh, we could do a pumpkin maybe over here somewhere. I wonder if I could get a rubbing pad up here. There we go. Give them a reason to go up there. Let's just double check these as I put them in, make sure they're accessible. This is potentially the tricky one. No, that's fine. Whoops. Okay, what else we got? We've got various playthings. A bark rubbing pad as well, actually. Let's get one of these in. Let's get one of these in over here. Excellent. Okay, and then we've just got various toys and things. Actually, this is a feeding one as well, isn't it? The block of fish. So let's get a block of fish in over here. Give them another reason to come all the way over into this area, and I will give them a football over here. Give them a bit of entertainment. Let's give them a blood marker thing up here somewhere. What else have we got? Got some balls. Give them a few more toys. And we got sprinklers. Let's give them a toy in there and a sprinkler. Let's give them a sprinkler in the middle here. Don't mind duplicating things a little bit as well. Maybe give them another, not another restraint feeder, maybe another one of these sacks around here. There we go. So that will hopefully encourage them to move around a bit more, particularly over here to the bed area. Whether I need to have some sort of shelter here, possibly. I'll tell you what I quite liked, because I built this roof, didn't I, for the restaurant. And I did quite like that. So whether maybe I could duplicate that over here and use this as a roof over this. That could work quite nicely actually, because it is a cool looking piece of kit. Oh, I'll tell you what I could do here. This could work really nicely. Let's plonk that down, because we've got this column. Now I could use this potentially. Let's get that there, and then let's move this. I wonder if I can get this right in the middle. Anyway, let's bring it down, and then I can line it up properly. Something like that. Actually, I quite like it sticking out the top. Right, and then let's combine the two. Let's see if I can use this. Not sure what this is going to look like. So probably too high, so it probably needs to sink down a bit to actually provide good shelter. And then I wonder whether I could get another one in over there. I don't mind if they clash a little bit. In fact, I think it looks quite nice if they clash like that. Makes it look like one big structure. I quite like that, because that should, I don't know, actually let's just check. I don't know if that will provide shelter, but it certainly looks like it does. Let's just check. Oh, that's okay. So I've messed up the traversable area there. But let's see, shelter. No, but that may just be because they can't get over there because of this rubbing pad. Let's move the rubbing pad. Okay, so good. There we go. So they can get over here now. Let's just get rid of that. Let's put the rubbing pad over here. Oh. Okay, it's actually not going to let me. That's weird. Surely there's room for a rubbing pad in here somewhere. Apparently there's not. Maybe at the edge there. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so they can get over here. Staff can get over here. There we go, shelter. Our animals have shelter. Fantastic. So that should encourage them to go all the way over there. Okay, so that's our enrichment done. Ah, look at this, look at this, look at this. People are coming down here. I know they're walking through the rocks. I was prepared for that. I don't mind, because I just think it looks cool. Look at that. People coming all the way over here. Fantastic. That is what we wanted, isn't it? Let me just check them out elsewhere. Are they spreading around the whole zoo? Are they coming up here? They are. Look at that. They're using the food and drink up there. They're not really going around here yet, but then that doesn't lead anywhere yet, so that's not a surprise. Although I mean, some of them are, so that's good. This area is wow. I mean, look at that. You can't move. That's quite ridiculous. I'm not surprised that people are a bit unhappy. that's fine. That'll all balance out soon. People will figure out where they want to go, and they'll disappear. It's probably a bad idea to have made this a dead end. I wonder whether I should branch this off and connect it in here. I might be able to do that quite straightforwardly like this. That could work actually. Let's shrink this down. Let's just see if I can do this. Why is that just going in a straight line? It's not bending sideways for some reason. It's bending that way. Why can't I bend it to the left? Okay. It wanted to go in a straight line for some reason. That's really weird. There we go. So I will just, I will just maneuver a little bit. Let's just bring you up like that. We've got a bush there that needs to go, and a bush there. Let's just bring that out to the side. Okay, there we go. What do we reckon? Yeah, people are going to come and go a bit better there. And it even looks already like it's basically supported on the rocks. I'll detail it more when I come over here, but actually that's going to help. I think people will pathfind a little bit in a minute, and they'll work around that. Yeah, that's good. That's a good change. I like that. I will have to continue the lighting, I guess. Oh yeah, look. We've got floating lights now. That's not good, is it? Let's just bring this over here. So yeah, I'm just going to have to do a little bit of work to just finish that off. But that's cool. I'll probably do that off camera. But hey, there we go. I like making little changes like that as you go along, because you learn, don't you? As you let people into the zoo, suddenly they all start interacting differently. Great. Have we got anyone coming over here yet? Not yet. They're obviously not sleepy yet, but that's fine. So what do we want to do next? Let's do some groundwork in here. So let's get on with some, grasses. So this is going to be coming down into here. Now luckily this is all pretty flat, so I can kind of go a bit nuts with this stuff, I reckon. Actually, I needed to pull this up, didn't I? Let's just do a little bit of that in there, and a little bit of painting, make that look a bit nicer. There we go. Right, and then this is gonna kind of copy what I've done in the previous habitats, just because it works. You know, it works, so why not repeat it? Rinse and repeat. I don't want to just copy and repeat all the time, but when you've got a technique that works, why not stick with it? So I guess this is the advantage to speed builds, because you don't have to sit here and watch me do the repetitive stuff. But hey ho, that's how it is, I'm afraid. That is how I record. So far everyone seems to be enjoying the series, at least, which is good. And hopefully I'm giving you ideas and inspiration. I've had a few people say that they're really impressed with what I do, and asking me where I get my ideas from, and honestly I just think a lot. I'm a thinker. I've always been a big thinker. In all my life, I've been a big thinker. You know, whether it's mostly creative stuff. You know, I try not to think about life too much because that can be painful, can't it? I don't suffer from stress or anxiety and stuff like that. It's not that sort of thinking. It's fun thinking. I like to think about the world and my place in it and creative stuff. What's my next project? You know, I love having projects, whether it's a creative project like this or my next book that I want to write. Now that I own a home, it's a lot of it is creative stuff around the house, what I'm going to do next to my house, hence the delivery of fence panels that I've just had. That's actually just turned up in the last few minutes. Oh, got a bit of a rock gap at the edge there. I need to sort that out. You know, so I'm replacing some fence panels in the garden, make it look nicer, that sort of thing. But yeah, I work alone, so I'm pretty much on my own all day. I talk to my clients occasionally, but a lot of the time it is just me in my gardens. And so it really is just time to think. And yeah, it's good. It's where I come up with all these ideas. Basically, I try to envisage my zoo and what animal I want to do next, and then what sort of habitat I think they would want to live in. And that's when I come up with these crazy ideas, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. More often than not they do at the moment, which is really nice actually. It's kind of surprising. I've definitely improved as a builder in recent months. I've really put more thought and time and effort into the creative process and the creativity, and I'm doing things on a bigger scale basically as well, because I think there's definitely more of an impact in this game when you do things big, and that's not to say that everything needs to be big, obviously, but in this case, certainly in a zoo like this, it's working. I think it is anyway. I hope it is. You guys be the judge. But oh, look at that, we've got our first crocodile coming over, hopefully for a snooze in the new bed area. But yeah, you guys are the ones that need to let me know if you think it's working. So far you seem to be enjoying it, so that's good. Right, I'm just going to keep going with this tufty grass thing, and then we'll do a whole load of foliage on the rocks. That's going to be a big thing. Lots of trees. I don't know how much actual foliage I want to try and do on the rocks this time, or if it is mostly going to be trees. Again, I don't want to go over the top with the foliage, but I do want it to look busy. I want it to look full up. At least the crocodiles are spreading out a bit more now. Hopefully people are happy. Yeah, the number of guests is dropping, so that's good. Hopefully they're taking the hint that I don't need quite so many of them. Right, we're nearly there now with this particular shrub. It's all about layering. I'll probably repeat myself a lot, but that's why I do this sort of work. You layer the foliage, and eventually it all builds up into one big tapestry. Now, where was that gap? It was over here, wasn't it? Right, let's just come into here, and let's just plug this gap a little bit at the end here. There we go. I think that was all it needed. Okay, so what do we think of the ground now? I'm pretty happy with that. I think once I get all the trees and shrubs and things in, I think that's going to look really nice. Actually, let's just put a couple of bits in here. I forgot about this area over here. go. Again, keep it subtle. Nice. So foliage wise, I want to do shrubs. These were nice. These trees. I thought these did a good job actually around this edge of being shrubs rather than trees. I think it works quite well actually. So I'm kind of tempted to do this again. See, it creates a nice sort of a bit of green without it looking too green. I do want this to be a bit jungly, so I'm not going to do too much of this stuff. But you've got to hide the rocks because it's too much otherwise. And it is quite nice to have a bit of a blend of different textures. You know, I don't need every area to either be jungly or to be sort of natural. I don't mind blending the two together a bit. See, I think it looks nice like that. I'm not going to do that in the middle. I think I'll keep the middle to mainly the jungly stuff. But this stuff around the outside, I think, as well, because I do want to create this kind of backdrop. So I don't mind a few of these nice big trees as part of that backdrop. Because this is the end of the zoo. It's not going to go any further than that. See, so again, I'm just layering the trees, layering the foliage. Do you know what? I quite like it like that actually. I'm just thinking I might not go jungly. I quite like it looking like this, and I like the rocks actually. I don't think the rocks need too much more on them around the outside here. I think it looks quite nice like that. I think any more and it might look over the top. See, I do like what I did here, but I don't think I want to do it again. I want to mix it up. I want it to be different each time. So you know, I might not go jungly in here. I'm just wondering. Let's just bring this in. Let's just do a bit of this around here. It might be too big, I think. That certainly this particular one. Although, let's just get a couple in here and just see what we think. Whether it's the right kind of foliage for in here. See, it is quite big. But it does kind of cover the rocks well, which is what you want. Because the rocks look really nice, so I don't want to hide them all. Just have to keep coming back here and just looking and seeing what I think. I like it actually. I like this. I like this foliage look rather than a tree look. See, I can just sink them in. Just keep it really subtle around here. I want to keep it quite open because these animals are quite hard to spot. So you don't want them to disappear. Got to look at it from all angles as well, because we've got this sort of cliff face here, which again I don't mind covering it a little bit. It's going to be kind of tricky to cover that really from this angle like this. I might have to let's just come down and just see what that looks like. No, that's too jungly down the bottom there. But that's fine. I don't mind there not being a huge amount of foliage down the bottom here. I can certainly get a bit more of this up here, like this. Again, just bits and pieces. I don't want it crowded. I don't want it looking too full up. I do like the contrast of these two greens, so I'll definitely do a bit of this next to the other green. I do feel like I want some full trees in here, but as far as the foliage goes, I actually really like this. But I obviously I could have a few of these as normal trees, or I could go for some different ones. But actually, I really like the look of this now. I think it works not being jungly. Right, let's have a look at what other trees we've got. That's quite a nice looking tree, isn't it? That definitely has potential. We've got a few different types. I quite like this tall one. I feel like I need a few tall trees in this habitat somewhere. Let's try. Let's just get a couple of these in and see what they look like. Let's get one of these shorter ones in over here. Definitely need some around the front as well. I don't want it looking completely bare. Haven't decided what I'm doing with this entrance here yet. I'll get to that soon. Okay, that looks good. Let's just try and find one or two more. That's a really nice looking tree. But where else do I need a tree? That's the thing. I don't want it looking crowded. I don't know if I do. That's probably a bit big really, isn't it? I mean, actually, maybe one on the edge there might look nice. And maybe something over here. Let's have a look. What's that look like? Creates a nice bit of shade over the pathway. I quite like this whole middle bit being open. I don't think I want anything growing out of the water. I do quite like that you can see the fountain, although I think I could get away with another one there. Let's just come down and see. What do we think? I really like that. That's a really nice backdrop. You've got a nice variety of different foliage, but you can still see the whole habitat, although most of the animals are just gliding around in the water, which is fine if that's what they want to do. But if you were up on here, you see, you'd still get some nice views of them, wouldn't you? I do want to do a bit more on the fountain here, because this is not looking good yet. So let's just come in here. Let's just get a bit of bushwork in here, and I am going to go back to my good old favourite, because I haven't done any of this really in this zoo, and it does work well with these little fountain areas. No, don't want anything like that. I might get a little bit of bushwork around the edges. Let's see. I want to hide these rocks a little bit, but not completely. Maybe try and get something just in the middle here, like that, and then I might just see about a bit of colour. What have we got? I don't know, something like this, or yeah, just that little variation of green I think will work nicely around that. There we go. I think that looks good. Do I need something at the top here? Probably. Most importantly, do I need a fallen dead tree? I probably do. I feel like this sort of thing isn't quite complete unless it's got a fallen dead tree. something like this, kind of fallen right across it, leaning down on it, that kind of thing. Yeah, there we go. That just finishes it off nicely, doesn't it? Well, there we go. Wow, this is coming along very nicely indeed. So what have we got left to do? I want to detail obviously the pathways, so some nice some benches, bins. I might try and squeeze in a couple of vending machines or something back here just to try and encourage people to come around the back. Then I've got this area around here, which I do want to sort of create a bit of a barrier of trees, I think, so you really have to go through to get to the next area. I don't like the idea that from here you can see all of that, so I think there will be some fairly dense foliage, I reckon, in here. So I'll probably get some rocks in here first, and then I'll get a load of trees on it, and then obviously I've got this little keeper hut to tidy up, and then I've got to consider what the next habitat is going to be, and I haven't really given that much thought yet. So what have we done so far? We've done a big animal, we've done one of the apes, we've done another big animal, and now we've done crocodiles. Maybe I could do a smaller habitat of some sort. I just need to scroll through the animal list, really, don't I, and work out what to do next. I will have a look at this entrance area as well. I mean, this basically just doesn't need to be stone, doesn't need to be wood, because it just doesn't quite suit the look, does it? I mean, even just a nice bit of concrete, I think, and then actually, do you know what? That really ought to have been. Yeah, it's a shame you can't just replace the door, because that's a wooden door, and I'd kind of like it to be different to that, but that's fine. Yeah, I'll create a little bit of rock work, I think, around there, just to finish that off. But yeah, otherwise this habitat is coming together really nicely. I think this is looking superb now, actually, even if I do say so myself. So yeah, we'll get this finished in the next episode, and then we'll move on to our next habitat, which will probably be, I don't know, might be here. I might see about continuing the river into here somehow, have another little water area in here. But yeah, I really just need to have a look at the animal list and work out exactly what I want to do. But for now, let's leave it there. So thank you so much for joining me. I do hope you've enjoyed the episode. Please do hit the like button if you have, and leave me some comments down below if you've got anything that you want to say. And until the next episode, take care of yourselves, and I will see you very soon. Bye for now.